This is Yohhamgambal. We're back playing Shin Megami Tensei Digital Devil Saga. Last time we beat our first boss of the game, Harley. And now we are heading back to our base because Argilla is pretty hungry, it seems, and it seems to be affecting her quite a bit. And we're going to just head back to our base because there's not anything else we can do at the moment until after some cutscenes, and then we'll be coming back to Harley's base to get a special item. But other than that, though, we got to go back to our base. So we're going to get some cutscenes and all that good stuff. But first we got to walk down. Yep. Yeah, we're our team's pretty rocking. Yep, so battle formation's important. The way it goes is left to right. So whoever's on the left first and in the middle and in the right is how the order of your team will go. So it doesn't matter about their agility. Agility only determines whether you'll attack them, whether your attack will hit, or whether you will dodge their attacks. In other games, I think not in the second game, but in like other Shin Megami Tensei games, that determines the order of turns, but not in this one. Uh-oh, sounds like something's going down.
Heat. That is Gale.
So, you're hungry, Gale? Wanna eat me?
Shanti, divine light, our heart cries out to you, deliver us from the dark and give us hope. May you fill us with your undying love, Shanti, Shanti.
What in the hell was that?
A song.
That was a song?
Yes, a song.
Tell me, who are you?
My name is Sarah. I've come to help everyone.
You came to help us? From where?
I don't know. I can't remember. I just know that I'm here to help everyone.
Your explanation is flawed. We know nothing about you. You say that you remember nothing. Why then would you help us? I do not comprehend.
I'm sorry.
The thing is, I've heard that song somewhere.
I have too.
Yeah, same here.
I have not. I do not comprehend.
I'm sorry.
But as long as she's here, we'll be safe from one another. We may even be able to return to normal.
You felt that hunger. You felt that power inside of you. All of us have changed, so deal with it.
So, we'll be this way forever?
Regardless, nothing has been resolved. The Karma Temple will identify.
This is a transmission from the Karma Temple. All tribe leaders are to report to the temple immediately.
For what purpose, dissemination machine?
Questions of this nature are not permitted. Report to the temple immediately.
Alright, well, it looks like we're being called to the temple. I have to say, Gale's avatar tuner is probably, design-wise, one of my favorites. It's actually, mythologically, too. His creature is actually one of my favorites, too, out of the main characters. Besides Celio, his is one of my favorites. I really like the mythology behind his character. I'm not going to talk about it now because we've only just seen it, and I'm going to wait till we actually have him in the party to kind of maybe talk about it quickly, but I absolutely love his character's design with the giant... He looks like a Venus flytrap. It's great. I love it. Anyways, though, with that, we can go ahead and head to the temple, but... Actually, no, we do want to go head to the temple first, because, like I said before, we want to go back to Harley's... we want to go back to the Vanguards, but we can't do anything, actually, until we go to the temple and hear what the machine wants to talk to us about. Yeah, well, I don't know, Heat. Everyone is acting illogical. I like how not Heat, sorry. So far, two of our main characters who seem to be exhibiting signs of emotions. We have Heat, who seems to be pretty brash and somewhat crass, and hot-headed, ironically enough. And well, not ironically, it makes sense. And then Argilla, who seems to be a little more compassionate but curious and concerning about things. But we still have Gale, who hasn't shown any emotions yet, and Celio, who hasn't emerged any emotions yet. The only thing that's interesting, though, is because Surf is our main character, he doesn't really ever show any type of emotions. Even though if you do look, his eyes are, I believe, a slightly different color than what they used to be. Because before, everyone's eyes are just gray when they don't show any emotions, but now his eyes are like a silverish gray, almost like a light blue, but not quite. But because he's the main character and we play as him, he doesn't really have any, like, emotional things like that. So here is the temple. Ooh, look, it's a cat. What is this? Yeah, I don't know. The temple is interesting because there's actually there's some secret... We had the... actually, you know, there's really no point in explaining it. It has to do with some secret bosses, but that's so far into the future, there's no point in even talking about it, really. Then we got the Water Crown. I actually really like the Water Crown brand. But I think my favorite brand, though, is, I think it might actually be the Water Crown brand. I really like the way it looks. It's the funny thing is, I just finished Drakengard, so the brands that they get on their body remind me a lot of the packs, except unlike, in Drakengard, they're not making a pact with a monster. I mean, they kind of are in the sense that they're making a pact with a mythological creature, but they're becoming the creature. They don't lose anything, except for maybe technically their humanity. You could maybe argue that they lose their humanity because they start eating other people, but only in their monster forms. I don't think they technically ever eat people. Only people who have transformed into monsters, because that's something later on in the second game, is there are some humans you can fight, but you can't eat them, so you don't gain any Atma. So I kind of like to think maybe they don't eat them at all, or they maybe do eat them, but there's just no point because only demons contain Atma. So, I don't know. Interesting little thing. And here we are, though, to the temple. And here's all the other tribe leaders. Of course, Harley would be here too, but we already beat him, so he is absent. We had some delicious zebra meat.
Everyone is present. Why have we been summoned, dissemination machine?
No answer to your query is available. There are no pertinent issues to be addressed at this time.
I do not understand this. The temple summoned...
I summoned you. I am Angel. I am the one you invoke as you gaze at the heavens.
Angel.
Listen closely, as there is not much time. Mark these words as the temple's new commandment. Soon, the laws of nature governing this world shall regress to a more primal state of being. The key lies in the Atma you have gained. Atma is the power of demons, signified by the brands upon your flesh. A demon gains power by feeding. Rend, slaughter, devour your enemies. There is no other way to survive. You cannot escape your hunger, warriors of purgatory.
What is a demon?
The essence of your new selves, your karma, you cannot yet understand. If you wish to learn the truth, slay those assembled here and ascend to Nirvana. All that you desire shall be granted in Nirvana. End the stalemate with your newly awakened powers and fulfill my commandment at once.
You speak words that we do not understand. Aside from our new power, nothing has changed.
Incorrect. There is one addendum. The black-haired girl. One tribe will conquer this purgatory and seize the black-haired girl. Nirvana shall open its gates to this tribe alone. You! Remember this. If you plunge the truth, Sarah, repent to Nirvana, devouring everyone in your path. Critical system update. The temple acknowledges demon existence. System inquiry. Review this information, child of purgatory.
Digital Devil Saga, more like Digital Vor Saga, am I right? Anyways, with that cutscene out of the way, we can use the dissemination machine to kind of learn more about stuff, but we already kind of know demons are the true form of Atma. The light that hit us apparently is just the virus that just awakens the demons within people. What I always wonder though is how does someone choose? They probably don't get a choice on what demon they get. Knowing my luck, I'd be something shitty, like a slime. I mean, I'd actually be kind of okay with that because slimes are kind of, in general, I think kind of a cool monster. Or what would really suck is being a Mara. Mara is one of the more famous Persona demons because while it is usually in the games a high-level monster, it's also the one that's most famously known because of what it looks like. It's basically that giant green penis on a chariot with blades. So, yeah. It's a strong monster in most of the games, but I don't want to be a giant... I don't want to be the Hulk's giant green dick in a chariot. You know, it's... okay. And also, I haven't mentioned this yet, but the machine mentioned it. It's called solar noise, and that's that circle in the left corner of the top screen. And that does a couple of different things. Sometimes it will actually heal you when you have a status ailment, and depending on how full or not full the solar flare is, you can get more money for selling certain objects. So yeah. And now because we've met with the machine, we can actually get our mantras, and this is where the bulk of our money will go to. You need to use money to buy new abilities. And there's a shit ton of abilities, by the way, and we can get more by beating secret bosses. And you don't need to get 100% on all of them, but there is a bonus for actually doing that. For getting 100%, for getting one character to complete a whole mantra grid, like every single mantra, when you import the data to the next game, you get like 5 bonuses to all your stats, which is actually pretty beneficial. So you'll be seeing that when I ever get to Digital Devil Saga 2. But yeah, though, when you're trying to get the abilities, you have to go in a certain order and unlock them. So you can't just get like the best ice move right now. I have to slowly gain up to the best ice move. But the nice thing is, though, about the mantra is any character can learn any ability. So he can go ahead and start learning ice moves if I wanted to put him in the mantra. I'm not going to because he's a primary physical attacker, and then secondarily, he is a fire attacker. But it's not a bad idea, though, to give all your characters kind of the lower level magic moves, because that way, for certain bosses, you can use that weakness against them and get those extra turns. But you also want to make sure that every character learns Devour, because that's the ability that Surf has right now, which allows us to eat enemies to gain more Atama, which is really great for grinding. And later on, we'll be able to gain an ability called Iron Stomach, and that way we don't have to worry about stomach aches. So that's kind of a big focus. Pretty much all my characters will be learning that, because it's super useful for grinding for me later on. But yeah, though, with that, we can go ahead and head to... well, actually, we got to go back to the base first, before we go to Harley's... Before we go to the Vanguards. I want to go to the Vanguards because there's an item we can get. It's a very important item. And for some reason, I accidentally went to the, I forgot what this place is called, but the Battlegrounds where we met Sarah. I accidentally clicked on it, so I didn't mean to do that. We want to go, Ground Zero, we want to go back to, our base. Now that we've met with the Dissemination Machine, we got to go talk to Gale, because Gale's pretty much our strategist. Yep, the Solar Flare, which refers to the sun, but if you notice in this game, there is no sun. And the characters have never seen the sun, yet they know what it is. Same with that black creature. They don't know what it... Later on, we find out they kind of know what it is, but they've never actually met it before. And this all kind of ties into the world that they're in, so I don't want to spoil it. But yeah, though, so see, the Solar Flare is at max, so if I have cells, which are the items that you can get from some enemies, they're pretty rare, but you can get them from some enemies, and from some treasure chests, you can sell them for a huge price. Not all the cells you get, you want to sell at the max Solar Flare, because some actually work better at mid. It just depends on which one you have, but most of them work at max. But it's not too big of a deal right now, because we can't get them. There is a good place to grind off them, very late in the game, but again, it's a good place to get a lot of money for the mantras, because, again, those things get really expensive really fast. That's why you never want to buy items. All your money goes to the mantras.
Angel. I do not know this name.
You truly remember nothing?
I'm very sorry.
Atma, child of purgatory? Now what do we do?
Nothing's changed. We'll crush the other tribes and reach Nirvana. By using this new power.
I have no objections. Our goal remains the same.
I am in Sarah's debt.
I just want to be normal. I'll do anything to find a cure for this curse.
It is decided. Allow me to propose a plan. As we are aware, there is only one way to reach Nirvana. That is to defeat the 5 other ruling tribes and present ourselves to the temple. The largest tribe, the Brutes, is presently struggling against the wolves. It is unclear whether the Solids or Maribel pose the next greatest threat. As for us, though we defeated the vanguards, we are severely lacking in manpower.
Who cares? We'll devour them one by one.
Easier said than done. What's your plan?
If we feign an alliance with one of the weaker tribes and defeat their rival, we can then crush them afterward.
You mean we're going to side with our enemy?
Until now, the tribes have relied solely on their own strength and resources. But an inflexible mind limits one's strategic options.
So our enemy's enemy is our friend? You've certainly changed.
You are the ones who have changed. Your emotions have clearly become unstable. I do not comprehend.
What about Sarah, then? I'm sure everyone's hot on her trail by now.
Cielo and I shall remain here. No one knows of her whereabouts. Hereafter, we should institute a policy of silence regarding Sarah's existence.
What is our leader's decision?
You're too naive. Kill them before they kill us.
First, we head to the Maribel's territory. Their boss is skilled, but the individual members are weak. It is advantageous for them to accept us, and defeating them will not pose a problem.
Now, one thing you need to know is you probably noticed that throughout the game, we've been given the option to actually kind of give responses. Now, while most of the responses don't matter at all, they're just kind of flavor text, there are a couple that do matter. And one of them that did matter was when we told Argilla that we would not betray the marble leader, but we would, we would help them, but we wouldn't betray them. And that actually gives Argilla a special ability. I believe it's either a special ability or attack. I can't remember at the moment. But it gives her a special ability in the next game. And there's a couple of other choices that give you these kind of important abilities or these kind of changes in the next game. So they're very, very few and far between. But that's just one of them. So yeah. Now, though, that we have gone through all the cutscenes, we can finally go to Harley's base and get some stuff, because there's a couple things we need to get, so that's good. And then we got to come back to the base to grab some more stuff, because this key item we're about to get allows us to go to new areas, so that's important. I don't know, don't ask me. Temple works in mysterious ways, dude. Yeah, guns are pretty much useless except for against a couple of creatures. Really, don't use your guns. You can turn into a human if you want, and in fact, that's like, if I remember correctly, when you beat the game and you play on New Game Plus, it's an ability that you can have where you can always start in your human form. But that's, why would you do that? Unless you're doing a challenge run, you never want to be in your human form. It's not a good idea. But here we are at the Vanguards, and we need to go, yep, Harley's dead. Yep, see, there we go. He left something important in his room for us. Oh, so here's some rookies that they're talking about. This won't become important until later on, but these are the secret bosses that we can't deal with until till the end of the game. Like, right before you fight the final boss, then you can deal with these guys. But till then, we can't deal with it. So, yeah, though. Well, sorry, Argilla, but I kind of do need some battles to get some experience. And what you gotta say? Yep, we'll deal with them at the very end of the game, pretty much. So we got some level ups, and now Argilla will actually start eating enemies, so she can actually gain some abilities. So now she's learned her Earth Spirit, and I've already cut to the Harley's room, and now we have the blue key. And if you remember, there were some areas we couldn't pass because of a blue wall, and now with this blue key, we can access them now. So we want to make sure to do that. And I think right here, I'm just going to change my mantra for... No, I was showing you the teleport. Like I said in the last part, you can teleport from any small terminal to the big terminals in a base, but you can't teleport from large terminals to small terminals or small terminals to other small terminals. So it doesn't work. And with the blue key, we can open up this door. And what's nice is it shows on the map those arrows swishing around the blue door. That just shows that we've already gone here, so that's really nice. The keys are pretty optional, but there's a lot of good items behind them, and again, you do need some of them to get to the secret bosses. So I would recommend you just get them, because there's really no point in not getting them. And now we have two actually really useful items here. We have the power noise and the vital noise. The vital noise will increase our HP by 10, and the power noise increases our increases our strength by 2, I believe. So yeah, the thing is though, power noises are really, really rare and hard to come by. So if you really want to max out like your main character's stats, what you really want to do is put all of their stats into strength, and luck, and possibly agility, but definitely strength, because then you can find magic noises that you can increase your magic with, and vitality noises are pretty easy to come by too. So yeah, if you want to max your stats out, but I'm not worried about doing that. Now the other blue door we can go past is in our own base, and we can get a couple of items here, but there are some items we cannot get until we beat a secret boss, but again, that's later. I keep talking about these secret bosses, but we won't be able to do them until the very end of the game. It's pretty crazy. It's kind of funny, but oh well. But yeah, though, there's some items we can get here, and then that's kind of it. Not much more than that. My god, it rains everywhere. There's seriously no place that isn't raining. Yeah, those are the items we can't get until the secret boss. They're pretty good too, from what I remember. But we can't do anything about that. And there's another blue wall. I don't know why they put a second blue wall here, because if you had the first key to, if you had the blue key initially to get down here, why would you need another one? It would make sense if it was another wall, like a yellow wall or a red wall, but a blue, again, I'm not really sure why. But we don't get the yellow key for a while, and we definitely don't get the blue key for a long-ass time, so it's whatever. I believe this is the only item we can actually get right now. It's just, I think it's just chakra drops. No, it's Great Chakra, which heals you by 150 MP, I believe. So it's better than chakra drops, but it's not, I mean, it's okay. You know, kind of expecting something better behind the wall, but it's not bad. I would have gone for an MP noise or a vital noise. Actually, a strength noise would have been good, just because strength determines not only your physical attack, but how much physical damage you take. I don't know if I mentioned that, but that's also really good, just because I'm not putting a whole bunch into physical, but there's really not that many enemies that I think do a lot of that solely rely on physical damage, except for the very final secret boss. Oh my god. Anyways, we did get some MP noise, and again, I'm just giving that to our main character because I'm going to use him in every single battle. The nice thing is when you get more characters, you don't have to use the main character. You can switch him out for somebody else if you really want to, which isn't always a bad idea because his weakness is to fire because he's an ice-based user. So if you're fighting a boss that uses a lot of fire, it might not be a bad idea just to do that. But I don't, just because he's the leader and I'm just going to use him anyways. And he has all his stats allocated in the way I like it, which is just pure magic right now. But, yeah, though, you can really make the main character however you want. You can make him a more balanced player, more physically based, which isn't bad. I just prefer magic just in this game. Like, the first time I played this, I made him pure physical. And then the second time, I made him a mix. And then the third time, I made him pure magic. So this fourth time is just pure magic again. So yeah, though. But other than that, though, there's nothing else to be had in the base. We can now head over to the marble base and meet with the leader to see if she, you know, is willing to strike a deal with us and be our partner in crime for a while, so we can take down the solids. I believe it's the yeah. So we need to take down the solids with her because the brutes and the wolves are fighting each other at the moment. But the solids are too strong for us just by ourselves because we don't have, you know, enough members. I mean, really, it's just, so far, it's just these 3 members. We haven't seen Gale fight yet, and we haven't seen Celio fight yet. And Sarah can't fight. So, look at all these Mohawk guys and their guns. I ain't afraid of you, or your guns. I kind of love that her mark is on her ass cheek. It's like, okay. It's kind of a weird place for it, but, you know, I'm not going to judge you. If that's where your pact is, that's where your pact is.
I assume you all have the power.
The power.
How else could you have made it this far?
So then, you're the same as us.
Not just me. Nearly all of us have changed. Soon everyone in the junkyard will be this way. The war will escalate. God has cursed us all.
What's cursed? Who is this God?
I do not know. The thought appeared in my mind.
Are you sad?
What is sad?
I'm not sure. You just seem that way.
Many of us have died due to this unexplained power. If my reaction is sad, then yes, I am sad. Explain your business. Interesting. But first of all, you must prove that you are worthy of fighting alongside the Maribel.
Wait, Janana!
The tribe is hungry. I'll be waiting for you, if you can survive.
I'm not afraid. Gale already told me that your tribe members are weak. It's only you that's strong. And even then, I'm not afraid of you. I took down a zebra that could shoot fire with its tiny little arms. I got this in the bag. Yep, we'll show her up and close. Yep. Well, she wants to see if we're good allies, so we're gonna need the fight. Not afraid of you, Mohawk chicken man. Yeah, so other than that, though, there's not much to do but actually go inside. If you actually come here, this is an entrance for later for another side secret boss, whatever. I'm going to be saying that a lot lately. There's an item here that you can get, but later on, there will actually be a ladder down into the sewers. But that's not open yet. And I was hoping that there were going to be enemies here so I could train, but there isn't. So I'm going to have to train back at Harley's base right in front of his room because that's a decent place to just eat a bunch of enemies because I want to make sure that we have some abilities for the boss that does come up in the next part. Otherwise, he can be a little bit of trouble if you are not prepared. But we will be just fine. And this room has nothing in it. There's no reason to come in here. Nothing at all. Not even an item. Not even nothing in here, buddy. But you know what, though? I'm going to end the video here, and we will go ahead and continue playing Shin Megami Tensei Digital Devil Saga in the next part. So this has been Yohhamgambal. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Okay, bye then.